So how has your football career helped you in translating into what you're doing now?
Yeah, and into business, it's amazing, man. It's like, and I think our team gets tired of hearing this from me, but, at a high level, running a business and quarterbacking a team are kind of the same thing. It's the same things that we're talking about that allow you to, to determine your success or failure. You got to have a great team around you. You've got to plan. You've got to execute with precision. You've got to embrace adversity. When adversity comes, you almost have to look forward to it. You have to adapt to everything that's changing around you and be nimble. So at a high level, they're very, very similar things. Making wine hurts a lot less, unless you drink too much and I wake up with a little bit of a headache. But yeah, the translation is pretty direct, and that's made it a lot of fun.
How'd you get into wine? Was it when
we like wine? We like wine. It was the obvious reason.
Well, you're from
Walla Walla. So I grew up right in the town where the winery is. So that's where I grew up. We like wine, got into wine, and then discovered that my little hometown was making some of my favorite wine in the world. And we would do blind tastings with the guys. Guys would come over and bring fancy, expensive stuff from Napa and Bordeaux, and we would put them all in paper bags on the counter, and I'd put something from my hometown in the lineup against these big boys, and we would win. And I'm like, shit, my little hometown's kind of kicking ass. So, when we had started planning for that while I was still playing ball, and so when I retired from ball, it wasn't because sick of football. I still love football. It's fun. Still a big fan of the game, but I didn't leave because I didn't want to play football anymore. I left because I wanted to go start the next thing. And it's been
when was
cool.
that you started the winery stuff?
So we bought our first piece of ground in 2003.
That's early.
And I played, my last year was 2006. So we had really kind of started down that road a little bit. And but then the business began in earnest in 2007, the year after I retired.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2010, 11, 12. Eastern side with the whites was already kind of popularized, but the reds up near like Woodinville and stuff like that didn't really, like Chateau Ste. Michelle and Columbia Winery and stuff, didn't really get big until 2012, 13, 14.
Yeah, it was starting to go. When I graduated high school in 1990, there were 5 wineries in Walla Walla. Now there are like 140, so it's really grown pretty dramatically. It really was like the 90s and early 2000s. It really exploded, and it's become a thing. Yeah, it's cool, man. There's a lot of people making killer wine, and it's fun. Probably the biggest difference though is like, when I was playing ball, the other team, I wanted them to lose, and I wanted them to lose bad, and I never wanted them to win another game. In the wine industry, especially where we are, I need if my neighbor's good, that's better for me. So we share information, we're cheering for each other and wanting each other to be successful, and then amongst that, then of course we want to be the best. But there's like this mutual competition, which is pretty fun.
See, I grew up middle class in Jersey, so I assumed for the first 30 years of my life, all wine came in a box. So, and then, Candace has been broadening my horizons. What are some of your favorite? Every time, I don't even want to know the price
really
of some of the stuff.
know wine. I just know, and I'm terrible because I'm like, if it's really expensive, it's good. But no, I feel like I can taste the difference, but my favorite thing is ruining food and wine for people. So someone like Gerard who drinks boxed wine and goes through drive-thrus, I'll take him somewhere really nice. And he's like, I can't ever eat this trash again.
The drive-thru was unnecessary. I was sorry, but yes, yeah. Yeah, no, she gets me things that have like umami in the title. Like,
it's so good. No, I think my like regular wine is like probably Charles Krug is what I do a lot. Yeah, or Stag's Leap.
If someone's wanting to get into wine, they want to get into it. What should they be looking for in a wine?
Yeah, well, I think I think you hit it perfectly. Find something that you like. You try a few different wines. You don't have to go break the bank and buy expensive stuff, but try a few different things and find something you like, and then you kind of go down that rabbit hole and try some other stuff. But if you and again, this is totally biased and shameless plug for my region, but if you want to drink really good wine, but not pay $200 for it, in Washington State you can find really good wine at like $25-$30.
Yeah, it's a good state for wine. I mean, just like so geographically disparate from west to east.
Yes.
You can grow pretty much any grape there.
Absolutely.
Where you are.
Yeah, you can find some good Pinot, especially in Oregon. You can find some great Pinot Noir, and then you can Cab Merlot, Syrah, where we are on the dry side. But you can find stuff there, and then you can experiment a little bit and try different stuff, figure out what you like. It's, wine's intimidating to a lot of people because they think you got to be like this wine geek and you know, wine people are annoying. Like let's just say wine people they think that, oh, you got to. I was like, don't give me that shit. Just find stuff you like.
When you do the tastings, do you spit out the wine or do you drink it?
When we're doing tastings, like to really put together specific blends, I'll spit it out. And I think that's it's blasphemy, really. I mean, it's not one that's such, but I think it does help. There's a piece of it that kind of concentrates your palate if you're not, and plus if you're doing that, you know, you start to get enough booze in you, and all of a sudden it can dull your senses a little bit. So we will, when we're doing, you know, tastings on purpose, we'll spit it out. I don't like that though. No, I don't it's made to be consumed.
No, I was told by a rich guy that the wine game for him is to find wines that are good before they become highly marketed. And he was trying to explain, I think he used cake bread as an example. Like, you know, he could buy, he was part of this wine group, and you buy a bottle of cake bread for like $12 back then. And then a year later, it's $200 a bottle. And he said, and the fun part about it is that when they become that commercialized, they're no longer the same quality that they were.
Now, when you go from like, I don't know, a couple of 10,000 cases to 3 million cases in a year, there's no way you can maintain the quality of that, in my opinion. Like I just don't see how you can do it.
No, you can't. And you've seen that happen with some brands where they were like that. They were really high quality stuff, and now you go open a bottle and you're like, oh man, almost can't drink it, which is sad to see. But yeah, you can't maintain that same artistry at scale. You know, you see that happen in booze too. Like I used to, I probably don't want to. What the hell? You know, Casamigos, when they started, it was real tequila. You know, and it was good. We loved it, right? And then they sold, and now you go get it, and it's like it just tastes like vanilla extract. You know, like it's not. But they can't. You know, you can't make, you know, 1 million cases or 2 million or 5 million cases of it and have that all be pure agave, right?
There's no way.
And so yeah, that's why, you know, we're well, never say never, but we'll never go down that road. You know, we want to maintain the artistry of what
How do you balance becoming hyper successful with your business aspect of it without losing the quality of your product?
We scale very slowly, and most of the fruit now comes from our own vineyards. We grow our own fruit, and we can kind of slowly grow into that. But we'll be about 20,000 cases this year. Started out at 600 cases with the first vintage, and we've slowly grown into that. But it's all from our own vineyards. We have really tight quality control, so we can do that. But we can't go from 20,000 to 200,000 cases, you know, and maintain that same quality.
Which lifestyle does your family like better, the NFL lifestyle or the stay-at-home?
You know, I think
entrepreneur.
I think my wife would say whatever keeps me out of the house that she likes. It's funny. Our kids were young when I was playing ball. I think Stu was. I think he was 8 or 9. He's our oldest when I finished playing ball. And I don't think that it really occurred to them very much that my job was different than anybody else's job at the time.
Yeah, my dad was in a video game too growing up. You know, so I get
right.
it. Yeah.
Oh, they would do that when they did come in. They're playing Madden or whatever. Dad, you threw an interception. Like, no, that wasn't me. That was you. I didn't have the control.
Well, your dad was in Grand Theft Auto.
That's right.
right.
Different game.
Oh, that's cool. At least you got to see him.
He's a hard-working guy.
I'm gonna go hang out with Dad in GTA.